How y'all doing? Redneck Programmer here. So welcome back to our tutorial on Java 14. It's mostly a Java tutorial, but we are going to see some of the new Java 14 features like the new switch statement we used in a previous video. You can check that out right here. So in the last video, we saw how to break our files, or how to break our methods into their own class files. We saw the difference between public, protected, and private methods, and how they can be used. So now then, let's look at another feature that's really handy. So let's get in the code. So you might remember me talking about commenting and what I called a Javadoc comment. So that's the difference between that, which is just a regular comment, it's all grayed out, and that, which is green. So this is no longer supposed to be here because this should actually be over here in the calculate BAC. So within the class, we'll put that right there. So check this out. Look at that. So it gives me the parameters. Those are the parameters that this method needs, and then a return. All right. So what we can do is put under that the information about it. That works with all of them. Let's look up here. We got a protected method here that we created last time. You put the cursor right above it, /**, and it tells us the parameter. So we know, without having to go through and read the code, we know what the parameter is, that it has a return type. If it was void, this return wouldn't be here. So now then, what do we do with this information? Well, we can generate what's called a Javadoc. So on our desktop, let's create a new folder called BAC Calculator Javadoc. All right. Put that there, close it. Now then, in case you have trouble finding this, which I sometimes do, you can go to help and just type in Javadoc, and it'll take you to it. All right. So we generated Javadoc. And what do we want to generate it? Well, you can generate it from one file. So if you already have a Javadoc, a document where this is placed, you've already created one, well, you can just add a new one for a new file you've created. You can customize the scope where you want it. Include the JDK source path. You can do all these. Let's do the whole project since we've never done it before. Where are we going to put it? Well, we're going to put it in this new folder that we just created. Open. Output directory. We can choose. Do we only want the public methods shown? Do we want the protected? Do we want all the way to private? Well, this is for ourselves, so we can show all of them. Now, if you want to hide some of this information, you can generate it only for the method types that you want. So let's do all of them. We'll use private version. Let's just see all of it. Okay? Maximum heap size. That gets into kind of the memory and the heap versus the stack. We won't get into that on this one. But you can actually set that here. Other command line arguments. You can put in shell scripts or any kind of scripts that you use to run it. Okay? So let's create it and see what happens. Well, it pops open a website. This is actually a HTML file. But if we look through here, you can see we have all these now hyperlinks. I haven't coded any of this. This is all automatically generated. We can even search through our package, like if we want get alcohol %, we can go straight to that method. It'll show us the constructor, which we haven't got into yet. We'll get into that definition. The method, the parameter for that method, protected static double, well, that's the type of method it is, public, private, protected, static, and then double is the return type, right? It inherits from this class. Well, that's just Java object. And these are the constructor details. And you go down here, you can actually see all of it. So let's go back. let's look at calculate BAC. Here's another one. We can look at just the static methods, all methods. Once again, we can look at actual details of these classes. And we haven't written any code for this. This is all automatically generated. So what you use this for is, it's really nice to have as a developer, right? If I'm going to give somebody a piece of my code and say, hey, I've got all these methods that already do all these things, they don't actually have to go through the code and look at it. What they can do is they can pull up the Javadoc, search through, and they say, oh, I wonder if he's got a method that already gets the alcohol percentage. Oh, I see it right there. Right? So they won't duplicate the code. So they can just go through the code and find they already got that in there. Whoever the developer gave this to them. This is a really good philosophy to create Javadoc comments for your methods, so that you have all of your code documented without having to write out a bunch of stuff in like a Word file or something. All right. So on the next one, we'll get a little further into it. Thanks, y'all.